know about you guys. Like, I honestly got to a point where I was feeling overwhelmed because there was so much stuff that I wanted to watch. Like, I
Yeah.
just feel like the content has been plentiful.
Yeah.
So there were a few movies that I've seen recently that I wanted to talk about. The first one was, it wasn't in theaters, and then it was, but it was kind of hard to see because they didn't give it that many time slots. Did you guys get a chance to see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Mom, just wait.
No time to wait. Very busy.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. If you can imagine it, somewhere out there.
No, but I heard
That's a top 5 movie of all time on my
so
list. I'm not
good.
exaggerating.
I heard
So-
nothing but good things about it.
But you haven't seen it, though?
I haven't seen it, no.
It's really, really good. And
Must watch.
It came out before, but it was in theaters at the same time as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I bring this up because did you guys see Jamie Lee Curtis's post about like the 2 movies? Did you guys see this at all? And I love Marvel. I was really glad that she made the points that she did, because it was basically, and it's interesting because both of these movies just so happen to be about the multiverse. So Cantley, I don't know how much you know about it, but that's really all I can say, because it's just an absolute trip of a movie.
You gotta watch it type movie.
Yes. But it has to do with like normal people in the multiverse kind of thing, and then you get Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, so it's kind of almost same realm. And her whole point is,
I didn't think about that.
Right. And her whole point is just how absolutely shafted small budget movies get at the theaters when a movie like a Marvel movie comes out, because every single theater is showing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I will say, you compare them side by side. I did love Doctor Strange for its own reasons, but like production value, originality, story, it all goes to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
And it's just, it sucks. And I'm so glad she said what she did, because again, I love Doctor Strange, but she's right. I mean, these movies deserve more than they get every single time. And so if you're gonna go see any small budget film that's in theaters right now, go see that one.
That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one.
All right.
And I'm glad and I'm glad you said that too, of it having the story, the production, the acting,
the costumes,
like everything was so on point, and I was expecting nothing going into it.
Yes.
Because I was in the situation where, like, my girlfriend, she doesn't really watch Marvel movies that much. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to go to the theater. It was one of those weekends where I'm trying to go to the theater and watch something, and we seen that, and I was like, it says sci-fi action. I'm like, come on, like it's the best of both right here. And man, we was both sitting there at the end. We both looked at each other like,
I mean, I laughed, I cried. I didn't know what to do with myself. There's a scene where it's literally just 2 rocks sitting on a mountain talking to each other with googly eyes.
Yes.
This is one of the most
No, it was good. The one scene that I've told a lot of people about too was where it was like, I would do laundry with you in like any universe. Like so Cantley, a good theme of it is like, what if I would have went to college? What if I would have went to become an actor? What if I would have went, and all of those universes exist. Like, so there is a universe where she doesn't meet her husband. There is a universe where her and her husband are just friends. Like, so, and it was one scene where they were like, I would do taxes and laundry with you in any type of dream you could think of. I'm like,
because it's like, it's always cry? Like a you want what you can't have.
I did. I had to hold it in.
I like literally when he said that, I was like, because in that universe specifically, they're both like rich, super hot, just like got it all going for them. And then he says that, and I'm like, that's one of the most romantic things I've ever heard in my life. It was so good.
It was good. It's funny you brought that up, because I just recommended it to somebody who was talking about like conspiracies. People who was into conspiracy theories of like everything exists but nothing exists. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just people who just think of the craziest conspiracy you can think of. And I feel like this movie pulled on that too. Like it just had so many elements of what humans care about in that movie.
And it's like the combination of sort of like nothing really matters because it's just the nature of the universe, but also like the universe is giving you what you need at that time. You know, so it's like you have everything you need.
Yep.
So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. So what you got for us, Cam? Or did you have anything else, Cam?
I did have another movie. It's not a new movie, but I found it on Netflix and I watched it, and I feel like you guys would like it if you saw it. Have you ever heard of Forgotten? I'll just check the year. It's from 2017.
Okay.
Forgotten?
What's it about? I'm looking it up right now. What's it about?
Yeah,
so it's a Korean film, kind of psychological thriller-y.
Okay.
But the twist at the end is what makes it worth it. Like it's a really original movie, and it's kind of horror-y, mystery-ish. Like you don't really know what's happening, but by the end I think you guys would really like it. Like I couldn't have guessed the twist if I tried. Even me saying that there's a twist, I don't think you guys will see it coming.
Yeah, this looks pretty crazy.
I like this. I like this.
Yes. So
I'm about to tune in.
Yeah, it's a smaller movie. It's on Netflix, but definitely if you're looking for something, check it out because it's good. And I hadn't heard anything about it, so
Bet.
Check this out. For me, we're talking about Netflix movies. Malik, we talked about this a little bit before we hopped on here, but Adam Sandler, the movie Benched, or not Benched. I'm sorry, that's my book title.
Hustle.
Yeah.
Look, selfless plug.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
I love this game. I live this game. There's 1,000 other guys waiting in the wings who are obsessed with this game. Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed?
But no, this movie, I actually really liked it because I think Adam Sandler, we're starting to see more like different sides of him, because the last couple of movies he's put out, they're nothing like the things I think we grew up with. Because I was even having a discussion with one of my friends the other day, Uncut Gems. The ending of that movie, I think you kind of knew it was gonna happen, but I
did, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I feel like this movie was, I think it was kind of serious in some form or fashion. One of the things I did like about it is the fact that he is like traveling around to all these different places, like trying to find somebody to play for the 76ers. And ironically, it is like a guy in Spain who actually, he's a real NBA player. But I like it because the NBA now is like moving to like a lot of the star players are foreign guys. So I think that's good for, what the NBA is now. But kind of like we were talking about before, if you're not really an NBA fan, this movie probably doesn't hold a lot of weight with you because, like I said, I watched it with my girlfriend. And I'm like, oh shit, like there's Trae Young, Mark Jackson, all these guys who are NBA personalities. And she was kind of like, oh, like, like cool, whatever. And I'm sitting here freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, but it was, like I said, it was good for what it's worth. And the fact that they were able to pull all these people, like Queen Latifah was his wife. And then Robert Duvall was another guy too. I'm like, he doesn't really have anything to do with sports, but the fact that he was in this movie, I mean, he's an acting legend anyway. So it was cool. The stars in it were definitely amazing. The story was good, but like we said, if you're not a basketball fan, it's kind of like like it's a good story, but that's really about it.
That's what I was telling you, Cantley, was that was when I finally got my review of that movie, was when I sat down and talked about it with my mom. Yeah. My mom, she knows sports a little bit, but same deal. She was watching it like, I don't know who the heck Trae Young is. Like, I don't know who these people are. But she was watching it because literally the title of the movie, featuring Adam Sandler, featuring Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? So somebody in her age group was like, I'll see what this movie talking about. Like, what is this about? And she was like, it was okay. But one thing, this is why I'm glad you brought up like foreign players, all of that. The actor that plays the main character is a real NBA player. Mm-hmm. Not only is he a real NBA player, he can act. Yeah, he was a great actor. Yeah, my mom texted me like, "Is he in the NBA?" I'm like, yes. Like he is in the NBA, and he acted his butt off in that movie.
Yeah, he definitely did. And I think it's funny too because when you do look at a lot of the foreign guys, I think it's a little different now for the NBA because a lot of them now come from like, the foreign leagues, but like maybe, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, you would hear stories of certain guys who were like, from these like third world countries who they're like, oh, well, like, I was playing in the park or I was playing like, with my backboard broken. There wasn't like as many, the leagues were
right.
So like to see him like playing over in Spain, he's like wearing Timbs. He's like, yeah, I work construction and all that. I'm like, that's crazy because that doesn't seem like
that's real.
Yeah, that's real. Like for some of those guys, which I think was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the longevity of the movie will do well. As we all know, cameos are something that will carry the movie industry until the end of time.
Yeah,
because the cast list is online. It's going to be tied to every person that's doing whatever they do in their life. Like cameos just do well, and I feel like Adam Sandler definitely tapped into that for this movie. He was like, who can we call right now? Who is down the street? Who is around the corner that can come to the studio right now? And I think that's just where we at right now with it.
It was funny. I was watching an interview he was doing. It was Hernan Gomez, Adam Sandler, and some other guy. I don't know this other guy. I'm not familiar with him, but they were asking each other. They were like, "Who's the most famous person in your phone? If you had to call somebody right now, who would it be?" And Hernan Gomez was like, "Adam Sandler's the most famous person in my phone." And Anthony Edwards was like, "I call Pat Bev," and I'm like, "Oh, like these are interesting." They asked
that is
Sandler,
so funny.
Yeah, and they asked Adam Sandler. They said, "Do you have Barack Obama's phone number?" He was like, "No, but I know a guy who does." And it was just like weird to see that. I'm like, man, could you imagine?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I was about to say, I mean, I guess I'll give mine. Things. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody and their mama been talking about this show. But I'm watching it from someone who watched from season 1, which is a lot different from most people, which I never realized. I never realized a lot of people have not seen this show from season 1.
That's all I've seen.
And you said,
that's all
wait,
I've
what?
Seen. Season 1's all I've seen.
And that's another thing too, is people don't know the storyline up to now.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's not a bad thing. I barely remember what the heck happened in season 1.
Word.
Like I barely do. But what I kept telling people was I felt like this season was a thriller. I feel like they could make 2 or 3 more seasons off of if they add a jump scare next season. This is gonna be a completely different TV show.
Dude, I'm telling you, like because I've also watched since season 1, and by the end of season 3, I was kind of like, I don't know, man, they're losing me. I think they're
I kind of care, but I could care less.
Yeah, and I hate to admit it. So I got off of work the Friday that it came out. I get out a little earlier on Fridays.
Yeah.
I sat down for 9 hours and watched the entire fucking stuff.
Oh, jeez.
I probably had bed sores from just sitting on that couch. Like, I did not move. It got me.
It was good. It was good.
Because I was like, I'll watch a few episodes, but then I got to episode 4, and that shift. You get to the end of episode 3, and you're like, and then you get to episode 4, and it totally opens it up. And from like, I think that the best thing they did for this show was separating all the friends. The fact that they're in different places.
Yeah.
I think totally reimagined the whole thing. And I agree with you that like now I'm like, damn, they got some more legs in this show. Like
they do. And I was just thinking about like they had a scene on there, Cantley, where it was just a lot of, once again, children with blood on them.
Yeah.
And when you see that, when you graphically see that, you're like,
yeah,
God dang, like what are we doing? This is Stranger Things. Like this is like season 1 to where it is now. It's night and day. It's night and day off of what I just said. Like you didn't see that type of gore. You didn't see that type of like evil in it. And I'm like, yo, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It really hits the ground running with episode 1. And to your point about kids being covered in blood, the other thing that's so funny about it is like, this has been 4 seasons, probably like 7 years total of us people watching the show and being like, these parents are so fucking stupid.
Yeah, they don't know nothing.
They're the dumbest people in this show. Like,
They don't know a goddamn thing. One of the kids be lying to his mom.
oh my God.
I already forgot the character's name, but the super funny one with the curly hair, like Dustin. Yeah. He'd be lying to his mom at every chance. Like, we're about to, we about to go play games down the street. This man in the underworld. Like, come on, man. Like, they didn't know nothing.
And these kids are like the worst possible age, like late middle school, early high school, in my opinion, the worst age. And I'm rooting for them. I'm like, come on, parents, let these kids go run around.
Yeah.
Like, let them on their bikes and go solve a murder. Like,
yeah. No, it was good though. It was good. I definitely been recommending it. What I realized, like Cantley, somebody who only watched season 1 or somebody who's only watched a couple episodes, it's gonna be hard to pull them viewers back. It's gonna be really 100%. Hard.
You know what?
You got 40, 50 episodes. Yeah.
I'll do it for you guys.
Aww.
Okay.
Only for you guys. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are making my list longer of things I have to watch now.
I know.
Yeah, the list is getting pretty hefty.
Yeah.
It is.
So now we have what? So it's beginning of July, I think. Is it only going to be like 1 or 2 episodes, or is it literally just one?
Yeah, from what they said, I definitely did want to bring that up. Was I guess it's supposed to be like mini movies though. Like that's how people is finessing this. Is the finale is basically going to be like two-parter or something, where it's going to be like a mini movie type deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no clue what that means, but but Cam, the first thing I remembered was the Halloween show we all discussed on here.
Fear Street?
Yes.
That one? Yes. And that was a dub.
And that was great. Everything about that show was really good. So if we see something like that again, hey, I think that's gonna be good. And what if it has the strength to live by itself? Like, just watch part 1, part 2 of the finale. Like, if we have the strength to say that, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's already kind of crazy how they put out 7 episodes that are all over an hour long, and this many people have already finished it. You know what I mean? Like that alone, I'm like, people are gonna fly through this finale.
Yep. So hey, we'll see how this ending come up. Man.
Yeah. They just got to protect Steve, and I think they will. Did you guys know that Steve was just supposed to be in the first season? He was supposed to be the bully that dies in the end, but then like what's his face? The actor. Why can't I think of his name?
I know who you're talking about, but Joe Keery. Yeah.
He's so charming and played him so well. They were like, I think we'll keep him around. I swear he's the best character. I think he's my favorite character. I love
Steve. It's funny. He reminds me of people. I said that to somebody else where he reminds me of people. True. Like and to have an actor like that, a lot of people gonna relate. A lot of people gonna rock with him.
Yeah. Yep.
I had one more movie that it was a classic that I came across on Netflix, was Bright.
It's a new day. Back to work. We will not be listening to no orcish music.
That is one of the greatest love songs ever written.
Yeah, well, I feel sorry for work ladies.
With Will Smith, where it was really okay. So the movie it came out in. Hold on. Let me get the date for y'all, because it was low key back there. What was it? 2017.
We got 2 2017 movies.
Yeah, we do. But so basically, they created a universe. I love movies that create universes because the immersion is there. Yeah. So there's humans, and then there's like orcs, there's elves, there's fairies, but they act like they live in America. So they got jobs, they're construction workers, they're like on the block doing drugs, like they live like Americans, and it's the craziest thing ever. But the whole storyline is Will Smith is a cop and his partner is like a goblin type thing. And they're constantly going back and forth on like, man, they don't like black people, and he's like, they don't like orcs. Like you're sitting there watching this like, what what am I
Pretty
watching?
much.
But the whole storyline is they stumble upon like a ritual of some sort of cult type, and it's basically it leads up to a boss fight at the end. And Will Smith, Will Smith do his thing for the boss fight at the end. But that whole universe they built, I was like, I would love a TV show, a Bright 2 off of this. Like it was just so funny in the sense of like, don't go to that hood. That's where the elves hang out. Like I don't hang out over there. I'm like, yo, this is a crazy show or movie.
I'll
Is
have
it
to
better
check
than
that out.
Gemini
And
Man?
Gemini Man, that sounds familiar.
No, is it better than Gemini Man, the terrible movie from like 2019?
Oh, way better, way
Okay.
better. Yeah, way
Okay.
better. That was when he was still coming up. So
Yeah, I was
I'm definitely saying Bright is better than that, just because it was a movie I feel like it probably could have went straight to Netflix. I think it did go straight to Netflix now that I think about it. So those type of movies, you if it's good this long, it was a good movie.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me. I can't believe I almost forgot because I know Cantley watches the show The Boys. The Boys.
Oh
is
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Season
Yeah.
The new season's
started.
back?
Mhm. There's only 4 episodes out now. They're
Okay.
coming out weekly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was out.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they just got signed for season 4, so there will be another season after this one.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a great show.
Bro, and
That's
talk
a really
about
good show.
like Stranger Things hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boys, yeah.
First 15 minutes, I was like, I've seen some shit I'm never gonna see.
You're like,
Oh,
what is this?
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
Have you watched them, Cantley?
I have not yet, but I want to show you something while we're actually here. You can probably
Is it
appreciate.
Billy?
Oh, you got the
This is
you-
Billy,
Billy?
yeah. You can appreciate
yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah.
Once the NBA Finals
Okay.
is over, man, I'll be back to my streaming. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that definitely one that's on my list for sure.
Dang, I forgot that was back out. I had this conversation every time I bring up The Boys to someone who like hasn't seen it or like has talked about it. I'm like, we are adults. So when we see adult things on a TV show, it's entertaining.
It is.
Like it's like there's no way around that. You know what I mean? And when you see a show that goes full fledged like The
Yeah.
Boys does,
Yeah.
you're like, I need more. I need more of this.
Especially where it's like what's around us, like superhero and comic book
Yeah.
movies are everywhere, and like you literally think about, okay, what would it be like to live in a world with superheroes?
With actual
I
superheroes.
think it'd be like
yeah.
that. I hate to say
Yes.
it.
I
think
would
it'd be
too.
Like
I
that.
would
Oh
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would without a doubt be like that.
Or I mean, I brought up the show too. When I think we talked about this before, but Mr. Invincible, that's on Amazon. It's an animated
yeah.
one, but they kind of do their own little twist of if superheroes existed
Yeah.
in our world, you know, and theirs is equally. I feel like theirs has it has its own flair to it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they be cussing in it. They be actually killing people in it. So yeah.
Oh, that reminds me because I know I've made fans out of both of you. Harley Quinn
Yeah.
season 3, they announced
Oh.
that it's coming out later
Oh.
this summer, I think.
Okay.
Really?
We'll be on that.
We will definitely be on that because
We'll be
that's
on that.
that's another twist
Yes.
of if superheroes existed in a regular world.
Yeah.
Yeah.